So I know you want psychological safety. And what I also know is you're probably wondering, how in the world do I do that? Hi, I'm Janet Harvey, CEO of inviteCHANGE. And in this YouTube, I'm going to give you 3 ideas for how to start. It really is quite easy to say, maybe a little more challenging to do, and yet I know you're up to it. The first step in building psychological safety at work is to begin with you in mind. Now, what do I mean about that? I know you're thinking as a leader that it's all up to you to create psychological safety, and yet you're asking to do something that really your employees and your colleagues are the only one who can tell you about. And so if you want to strengthen your empathy muscle, which is part of what creates safety for interpersonal risk, and that's what we're talking about anyway, it's important that you have your own ability to reflect on what makes it safe for you to take interpersonal risk at work. Pause for just a moment right now and ask yourself, in the last week, when did you hold back on sharing an idea or a perspective or an opportunity because you had some concern for the consequence associated with saying it? Right in that moment, you're experiencing a lack of psychological safety. Somehow we get our wires crossed up and we think that the words of the idea are actually words about us. So the person and the idea get collapsed. And when we do that, it's too risky interpersonally to share the idea. And who loses in that process? Us as the leader, our team members, and ultimately the organization. So what's important here is for you to consider what is going on in the way people are being with each other, the way we behave, the norms we have in our culture that might be encouraging people to freely express themselves, or opposite, not, which will start to give you some sense of where there is and isn't psychological safety in the workplace. So we've talked about this. This is the interpersonal risk, safety for it. Now take some time to observe your team. I'm going to switch it up here a little bit because we're used to thinking about people on our team who are outgoing, they're very expressive, or people who are more internal, we call them introverts. They're quiet. They need time to process ideas. Those are both psychological terms about personality. And I want to encourage you to put those to the side for a moment. While it might be true about your team members, the observing I'm going to invite you to do is a little bit different. When you're in the next team meeting, I want you to pay attention to what do people respond to. When you ask a question, or anybody in the room asks a question, what do people say yes or no or make comments about? Is it at the content of the idea where they're debating it? Or is it about what the impact is on them personally, or the influence it has on the way that they're thinking? If you can begin to discern where people are protecting themselves, which has to do with how is this going to affect me? Remember that old saying, what's in it for me? That's an example where there's low psychological safety because it's not okay to just have an idea be debated. And that's, of course, what you want if you want creativity and innovation to flourish in your organization. So step 2 is about taking a little bit more time to notice whether people are engaging with the idea or they're engaging to keep themselves safe. And if it's the latter, you have some work to do to create safety. So now that's step 3 that's important for us to talk about. You might think you know what safety looks like. But back to our first step where we start with you, that's only on your terms. That's your definition of what creates safety. And when you're the leader, you've made your way through the organization and have a certain sense of security in your role. Couldn't be a people leader if that wasn't true for you most of the time. Which also means that the people that work for you are not quite there yet and are likely watching for cues and clues that talk about what's okay to say and what's not. There's this wonderful phrase like, that's a sacred cow. We don't touch that one. That's a subject we can't talk about. And that's an example of a place where there's low psychological safety. No one will challenge the prevailing thinking, particularly when it's the boss's idea. And yet, again, you want innovation and creativity. So how do you create the climate for people to feel comfortable to challenge any idea that's on the table for the merits of the idea? You're not going to be able to answer that question for your team. So step 3 is learning how to ask that question of your team. Now, mind you, they aren't going to like it if you sit down one day and say, we're going to talk about psychological safety. It's going to sound something like, what are the kinds of conversations we have in our team meetings where all of you find humor and lightness and we have a really good banter back and forth? What are those subject material that we're really good at having constructive debate and conversation about? And then listen very carefully. What is that content? What are those contexts? What are the ways in which they're speaking about the things that are easy to say? And do some acknowledging of them for that. And then ask the question, and what is the hard stuff? Where do we stop ourselves from challenging each other in our thinking? And again, this is your chance to stay quiet and to learn by allowing your team to inform you about just exactly what they need in order to feel the safety for interpersonal risk, or in other words, psychological safety at work. And if you really want to take it to the next level, there is a wonderful YouTube on group learning agreements. And this is a way to be sure that they're building a strong muscle for this with each other over time. Both of these things together are going to drive your innovation and creativity very strongly. Have fun.